A new filing by Tesla's insider reveals some bullish data, at least to me as a long-term investor, certainly. Check this out. This is actually a form from Tom Zhu. This is his actual name, but we all know him as Tom Zhu. This filing with the SEC reveals exactly how much Tesla stock Tom Zhu owns, as well as how many options he owns. We can see that Tom owns 66,000 Tesla stock shares, which, is not really that much. That's only $12 million in Tesla stock. Some of you probably have more than this. And we are talking about a man who was called Elon's right-hand man at Tesla. But when you look at these stock options, this is where it starts to look quite incredible. Multiple stock option awards. One that has 500,000 Tesla stock shares almost. You put all of this together and you get almost 2 million shares. This is how much Tom owns in terms of options. This is how much he can really purchase. And then this is the stock that he actually owns. So you add that up together and you get about 2 million shares in total. And most of these stock options can be exercised at incredibly low prices, at below $20 in these two cases, at about $20 in this case. Only in this case, the price is higher. The bullish part is that he is already able to sell a lot of this stock already if he wanted to. We'll dive into that as well. But first, how much exactly does he own? Because he still needs to purchase a lot of the stock, especially right here. He would have to purchase the stock at a higher price. At yesterday's closing price, all of this stock, including the little bit of stock that Tom owns outright, all of this is worth $375 million. To exercise the stock options, Tom would need to spend $113 million almost. And if he exercised everything today, he would be left with $262.5 million. Why do you think Tom is not selling most of this stock? He's not on the Forbes list, so I don't think he's a billionaire, which would mean most of his net worth is in Tesla stock, or at least a good portion of it. I mean, if he's worth $900 million, that's still a lot more than 10% of his net worth. My guess is this is most of his wealth. Tom is fairly young. From Tesla's proxy filing, we learned that Tom is 43 years old. I doubt he has much wealth outside of what he made from Tesla and from Tesla stock options. Some may also wonder, well, didn't Tom already sell these? I mean, these were granted at low prices, but if he needed the money, and if, for example, he didn't really believe in Tesla that much, maybe he sold all of this already? Well, if I read the form, what it says here is Table 2, derivative securities beneficially owned. So I would interpret this as Tom currently owning all of this. And then the question is, can he definitely already exercise almost all of these options? I mean, if he can't, then this is not really bullish because, well, if he wanted to, he couldn't. But this SEC filing here shows that, for example, this batch of Tesla stock options is indeed already fully exercisable as of August 19th. Portions of it were exercisable earlier, but it has been fully vested. And when you look through all of these other ones, some still have a little bit of Tesla stock that is not fully vested, but most of these have vested almost fully, although not fully, but most of it, yes. Tom Zhu, if he wanted to sell these Tesla stock options, if he wanted to exercise and then sell this, yes, he already could. And guess what? He is not doing it. Why do you think an insider that works inside of Tesla, sees everything. Why do you think he has so much money in Tesla stock? Probably, and this is what I think, he believes that this Tesla stock will go up in value a lot and will probably be worth double, triple, quadruple, maybe even 10x in the somewhat relatively near or long term, depending on how you think about it, future. I love bringing good news to all of you guys. Now, we don't know how big Tom's salary is, assuming it is also pretty small, as Andrew Baglino's and Zach's are. They only get paid $300,000 per year, and the rest they take in stock options. I assume Tom probably will sell some of these assets to fund his lifestyle and help and provide for his family. But as long as it's under 10% of his total ownership per year, I wouldn't really think much of it. Here is an important data point that Razad posted on Twitter. About 8 in 10 Americans cite the cost of new electric vehicles as a reason why they would not buy an EV. However, as the Inflation Reduction Act provides Americans with historic EV tax credits, 6 in 10 say tax breaks would motivate them to purchase an electric vehicle. That said, Americans are also hesitant about purchasing them because of how long they take to charge and because they are afraid there are not enough charging stations. Americans' concern over a lack of charging stations is about the same despite the region they live in and despite whether they live in an urban, suburban, or rural area. But if we advertise, we could make the vehicle seem more affordable, and we could also make it look like there are more charging stations than there actually are. Right? That's how it works. I'm, of course, being a little bit silly here, but not that much. Advertising certainly will not make the vehicles more affordable, definitely not. And I generally find also that the people that want Tesla to advertise do not believe that Tesla will deliver 20 million vehicles per year, meaning they think that the total addressable market that Tesla is going after is not that big. If we want Tesla to get to 20 million deliveries per year, then the costs have to come down. But if you are happy with Tesla delivering, let's say, just 8 million vehicles per year, which is still quite a bit higher than the Wall Street consensus for 2030, then you have a slightly different opinion. Because indeed, there are quite a few people that perhaps would buy a Tesla if you showed them an ad and you get dog mode of a vehicle, which can also be used for babies, for example, not just dogs or cats. You can advertise the speed, the safety, and everything else that comes with Teslas, but at some point you will run out of people at current price points where you just won't have enough buyers anymore. So if you are going to advertise later, but at lower prices, why not just cut the prices first, maximize demand then, and then once you cannot sell any more vehicles at these prices without advertising, then turn on advertising, which indeed is going to be a lot more effective because the deal is so much better because of lower prices. And I hear some people say, oh, but the Tesla does have enough charging stations already. But do they? Do they really? I took a few trips in Teslas, and a few times I had to go a little bit off course. If I was in a gas-powered vehicle, I would not have had to do that. Preferably, I would like to not have to drive, 10 minutes away from where I should be going. It's not a big deal for me, but for some people, it's just another thing that they just don't like. But of course, advertising fixes that, right? People also think EVs take too long to charge. I think this you could possibly address with advertising. And I find it pretty interesting actually to stop to charge if it's the first time I'm going to a certain place and I'm just sort of almost like exploring. So if I'm on vacation and I have to stop to charge, I find that enjoyable. But if I have to go to places and I have to be there at a certain time and I'm in a rush, I don't want to stop anywhere for any longer than I absolutely have to. More chargers and faster charging speeds will convert these people. Advertising would maybe convert some, certainly, especially those that don't go on road trips much and those that think that perhaps you can plug your Tesla charger into your regular outlet, and that's probably fine for a Model 3, maybe even a Model Y. You don't need to upgrade your electrical outlet, maybe even. Some people don't know about that, and that could be helpful to educate the public, but that only goes so far, although it would certainly help. I think a more helpful way to educate would be to have some sort of creator, let's say like Mr. Beast, who gets 100 million views per video, make a video about Tesla's features, and boom, that video goes viral, and then everyone understands all of the features. If Tesla is going to do advertising, I think that's what it probably should do. That would only cost a few $1 million, by the way. You probably actually may not even need to pay Mr. B, so you may not even have to call it advertising. You could just say, hey, Tesla is doing this charity campaign, and Tesla wants to give away, let's say, 50 Teslas, which would be, let's say, $2.5 million, or 100 Teslas, so that would be about $5 million MSRP price, and just make it a condition that the video has to be specifically about Teslas. You can talk about anything during that video as long as you are talking about something related to Tesla and some of a Tesla's features. Here, look, 138 million views, 144 million views, 109 million views, 132, 97. 102. And the most important thing that people don't understand about advertising, and I made millions of dollars, by the way, running ads, is they think that an impression is what we need. If we reach 100 million people, if they see an ad, that will somehow convert these people. No. If someone just, for example, sees an ad for 1 millisecond, that is not going to do anything. But something like this right here, Mr. B said that his retention, he aims for about 80% retention. That means that on average, probably a person that watches this video watches it for about 10 minutes. That means 100 million people watched this video for about 10 minutes. And the most important thing is, then people watch a video like this, they are actually paying attention. This is not like a Super Bowl ad there. You're doing something else, you're on your phone, and you just hear something in the background. So what if it reaches however million people if they are not paying attention? It doesn't matter as much as something like this would matter. Imagine if Mr. Beast made a video like this. I Uber people and let them keep the car, and he Ubers everyone in a Tesla, and he gives away like 20 Teslas or something like that. And while he's driving, he's talking about, oh, you know, this is why Teslas are special. For now, I certainly prefer price cuts over advertising, but if we are going to do advertising, this is a more efficient way to do it. I mean, our competitors couldn't really replicate this because, for example, let's say GM wanted to pay Mr. B some money. First of all, Mary Barra, she's not cool. GM vehicles are not cool. Elon Musk is cool. Mr. Beast likes Elon Musk. And Tesla vehicles are cool vehicles. Getting back to superchargers, Tesla is expanding its supercharging network extremely quickly. They are averaging about 36 new connectors per day. The growth is exponential currently, so that will be fully addressed. It's just a matter of time. And charging will also get faster, but the main issue is the cost. It just costs too much to buy an EV. This is what Steven said to Farzad. He said advertising will make people's income and savings 5x instantly, therefore they can afford EVs. You are dumb. Farzad fires back with, the only thing I agree with is the last sentence. Obviously, they are being friendly, and this is a friendly exchange, and Steven is joking if you didn't know. Until we see the margins that Tesla has currently, I don't think there's much of a point to really seriously debate this advertising question. Let's see what the margins are, and then we can talk more. And this is an important message to all Tesla stock investors. My name is Matt Posius. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.